Okay, now I would like to explain about the refraction of d bar at the boundary between two dielectric materials. Okay, this line indicates the boundary between two dielectric materials. Okay, this is first dielectric material and this is second dielectric material. Here d1 is first dielectric material electric flux density and d2 is flux density in second dielectric material. So dn1, dtan1, d1 normal component and tangential component. Similarly, dn2, dtan2, d2 normal component and tangential components. Okay, let the angle between d1 and dn1 equals to theta 1. So actually the refraction means, so if here the electric flux passing from second material to first material. Okay, in second material electric flux equals to psi 2, flux density equals to d2. In first material electric flux equals to psi 1 and flux density equals to d1. So it passes from second material to first material. So in that case at boundary line it changes its direction. Okay, if electric flux lines are passing from one material to another material, it changes its direction. Okay, in previous case the angle is theta 2 and now it is angle is theta 1. This is d2 and this is d1. Some angle difference will occur. The electric flux lines are travels from one material to another material. So this is called the refraction. So let the angle between d1 and dn1 is theta 1 and angle between d2 and dn2 is theta 2. So the normal component equals to dn1 equals to d1 into cos theta 1 and dn2 equals to dt into cos theta 2. In any case, for a vector the normal component equals to the magnitude of the vector into cosine of angle. Here dn1 equals to d1 cos theta 1 and dn2 equals to d2 cos theta 2. So we know that the boundary condition, third boundary condition, dn1 equals to dn2, or it can be written as dn1 by dn2 equals to 1. dn1 equals to d1 cos theta 1, dn2 equals to d2 cos theta 2. And another boundary condition, this is second boundary condition. So we know that second boundary condition, d tan 1 by d tan 2 equals to epsilon 1 by epsilon 2. The tangential component equals to the vector magnitude into, so sine of angle between sine of angle. So d tan 1 equals to d1 into sine theta 1. Here theta 1 is the angle between d1 and dn1 and theta 2 is the angle between dn2 and d2. So d tan 2 equals to dt into sine theta 2. Okay, so d1 equals to d1 cos theta 1, d tan 1 equals to d1 sin theta 1, dn2 equals to d2 cos theta 2, d tan 2 equals to d2 sin theta 2. So by substituting here d tan 1 and d tan 2 we get d1 by sin theta 1 by d2 sin theta 2 equals to epsilon 1 by epsilon 2. So d tan 1 equals to d1 sin theta 1, dn1 equals to d1 cos theta 1. So tan theta 1 equals to d tan 1 by dn1. Okay, d tan 1 by dn1, d tan 1 by dn1 equals to d1 sin theta 1 by d1 cos theta 1, d1 cancel. So finally tan theta 1 equals to d tan 1 by dn1. So tan theta 2 equals to similarly d tan 2 by dn2. Tan theta 1 by tan theta 2 equals to d tan 1 by d tan 2 into dn2 by dn1. So by dividing tan theta 1 by tan theta 2 we get this equation. So according to boundary conditions, d tan 1 by d tan 2 equals to epsilon 1 by epsilon 2 and dn2 by dn1 or dn1 by dn2 equals to 1. So dn1 equals to dn2, so automatically this dn2 by dn1 equals to 1. So finally tan theta 1 by tan theta 2 equals to epsilon 1 by epsilon 2 or it equals to epsilon r2 by epsilon r1 by epsilon. So finally tan theta 1 by tan theta 2 equals to epsilon r1 by epsilon r2 or it equals to epsilon 1 by epsilon 2. So this is called law of refraction. Okay, so this is law of refraction in case of two dielectric materials. Here two materials are dielectric materials. Here first dielectric material and here second dielectric materials are present. So this is the boundary line between two dielectric materials. Okay, so next one, the boundary conditions between conductor and free space. The boundary conditions between conductor and free space. So this is boundary line and this is conductor and the top side is free space. So free space also one type of dielectric material. So this can also say that the boundary conditions between conductor and dielectric material. Conductor and free space, conductor and dielectric material both are same. So now consider the boundary between conductor and free space. This is boundary between conductor and free space. So generally the conductor properties are at boundary. The conductor properties are the field intensity, the electric field intensity inside a conductor is 0 and the flux density inside the conductor equals to 0. In a conductor, the electric flux density and electric field intensity equals to 0. So no charge can exist within the conductor. The charge appears on the surface in the form of the surface charge density. In conductor, the electric charge equals to 0 and the total charge is present at the surface of the conductor like a surface charge density. So next the charge density within a conductor is 0. The charge density within a conductor is 0. So these are the properties of a conductor. So finally the properties of the conductor, E bar, D bar and rho v within the conductor are 0. Okay. So by using these three, so we can find the boundary conditions. So first one, the relation between tangential components. So we know that, so to find the relation between tangential components, we have to use the conservative of electric field equation. The conservative of electric field equals to closed line integral E bar dot dl bar equals to 0. So to apply this conservative of electric field, so let a rectangular closed path ABCDA at the boundary between conductor and dielectric material. Okay. So now here the closed line integral means ABCDA closed line integral E bar dot dl bar equals to 0. So we can divide this total closed line integral by 4 parts: integral AB, integral BC, integral CD and integral DA. So first one, integral AB E bar dot dl bar plus integral BC E bar dot dl bar. Next one, integral CD E bar dot dl bar plus integral dA E bar dot dl bar equals to 0. So at boundary line the delta H value tends to 0. So actually we are taken our rectangular box, but we have to find the boundary conditions. So at boundary line this BC side and DA side equals to 0. Okay, delta H value tends to 0. If delta H value tends to 0, this BC integration and DA integration becomes 0. So BC integration and DA integration becomes 0 at boundary line. BC integration and DA integration, that means the second term and fourth term equals to 0. So why? Because at boundary line the delta H value approximately equals to 0. So next to find this first term, integral AB E bar dot dl bar. So integral AB E bar dot dl bar equals to, so this AB cell lies in free space or dielectric material. So next one, this AB is tangential direction, tangential to the boundary line. So in this case integral AB E bar equals to E tan 1. So next integral AB into dl bar. So integral dl means this AB side length. So assume this rectangular width equals to delta W and height equals to delta H. So integral dl equals to delta W. So finally integral AB E bar dot dl bar equals to E tan 1 into delta W. Okay. So next one, integral CD E bar dot dl bar. Here integral CD lies in conductor. So we know that conductor property, in conductor E bar, D bar and rho v equals to 0. So in conductor E bar equals to 0. So integral CD lies in conductor. So integral CD E bar value equals to 0. If E bar equals to 0, this total term becomes 0. So by substituting these 4 terms in this equation, so we get E tan 1 dot del W equals to 0. Only first term equals to 0. So remaining terms are equals to 0. So from this we can write E tan 1 equals to 0 or E tan equals to 0. E tan equals to 0. So this is the first boundary condition. So next second boundary condition. So to find the boundary condition, second boundary condition, so use the relation between D bar and E bar. We know that D bar equals to epsilon into E bar. So D bar equals to epsilon into E bar. So D tan equals to epsilon into E tan 1. So automatically first boundary condition E tan 1 equals to 0. So automatically second boundary condition D tan 1 equals to 0. This is the secondary boundary condition. So from equations 1 and 2 we can say that, so we can say that in this case means if the boundary present between conductor and dielectric material, the tangential components of electric field intensities and electric flux densities are 0. Okay, at boundary line between conductor and free space or conductor dielectric material case, the electric field intensity and electric flux densities are 0. So next the relation between normal components. So to find the relation between normal components, we have to use the Gauss law. So to apply Gauss law, so consider a cylindrical Gaussian surface. This is cylindrical Gaussian surface. Top surface equals to delta S, bottom surface equals to delta S, and height of the cylinder equals to delta H. Okay. So we know that Gauss law formula, closed surface integral d bar dot ds bar equals to q enclosed. So the cylinder having three surfaces, top surface, bottom surface and side surface. So first top surface integral d bar dot ds bar plus side surface integral d bar dot ds bar plus bottom surface integral d bar dot ds bar equals to q. Here q enclosed value equals to q. So next one, so side surface integral d bar dot ds bar. Or first to find the top surface integral d bar dot ds bar. Here top side, this top side lies in free space. In free space and in top surface the electric flux direction, upward direction. So in this direction. So this direction means the component is normal component. So it is present in first dielectric material. So dN1. So in top surface case the electric flux density equals to dN1 and top surface area equals to del S. So top surface integral d bar dot ds bar equals to dN1 into del S. So next one, side surface integration d bar dot ds bar equals to 0. Why? Because at boundary line delta H value tends to 0. If delta H value tends to 0, side surface area equals to 0. If side surface area value equals to 0, automatically this second term becomes 0. So next third one, bottom surface integration d bar dot ds bar. Bottom surface integration d bar dot ds bar. This bottom surface lies in conductor. So we know that conductor property, in conductor the electric flux density equals to 0. So in conductor case d bar equals to 0. If d bar equals to 0, automatically this total term equals to 0. So at boundary the charge is present in the form of surface charge density, and in boundary between conductor and dielectric material case the total charge present at boundary line like a charge density. So the surface charge density, we know that rho s coulombs per meter square. Here this total charge q equals to surface charge density into surface area. So q equals to rho s into del s. In conductor case the total charge lies on conductor surface. So conductor surface means here the boundary between conductor and free space. So charge in the form of surface charge density. So charge q equals to rho s into del s. Here q equals to rho s into del s. And in dielectric material the charge value equals to 0. So in this case the total charge equals to q. This total charge q equals to conductor surface charge. So conductor surface charge equals to conductor surface charge density into surface area. So rho s into del s. So by substituting all this in this expression, we get top surface integration d bar dot ds bar equals to dN1 del s. Second term, side surface integration 0, bottom surface integration 0, and q equals to rho s into del s. This del s cancel, and dn equals to rho s. This is third boundary condition. Okay. So next fourth boundary condition. So by using the relation between d bar and d bar, we can find the fourth boundary condition. So we know that dn equals to epsilon into en. D equals to epsilon into E. So dn equals to epsilon into En. It equals to rho s. So from this relation we can write En equals to rho s by epsilon. This is the fourth boundary condition. So finally four boundary conditions: E tan equals to 0, D tan equals to 0, dn equals to rho s, En equals to rho s by epsilon. So next the boundary conditions between conductor and dielectric materials. So the boundary conditions between conductor and free space and the boundary conditions between conductor and dielectric materials are same. So free space is nothing but one type of dielectric material. So in this case also, if they ask the boundary conditions between conductor and dielectric materials, so same derivation, so we have to do. Okay. Just here in diagram, so in place of free space mention dielectric material, that is enough. And the same boundary condition, E tan equals to 0, first boundary condition. Second boundary condition, D tan equals to 0. Third boundary condition, dn equals to rho s. Fourth boundary condition, En equals to rho s by epsilon. These are the four boundary conditions. So here q value equals to rho s into del s. But in previous derivation, the boundary condition between two dielectric materials. In this case, q value equals to 0. Okay, this is closed surface integral d bar dot ds bar equals to q. So in dielectric material the charge equals to 0, so that's why here we taken 0. In dielectric material only the bounded charges are present. Only bounded charges are present. So in that case the charge value equals to 0. So that's why in case of dielectric materials the Gauss law closed surface integral d bar dot ds bar equals to 0. So here, but in this case conductor is present. In case of conductor the charge present at surface of the conductor, so that's why q equals to rho s into del s.